We're midway through the 2011 fall sports season at North Central College, and a couple of Cardinal teams are vying for conference titles. In case you missed any action this fall, we got you covered right here on the Cardinal Report. Welcome to the first edition of the Cardinal Report in this fall sports season. I'm Marc Dahlquist. Our first guest today is legendary cross country and track and field coach Al Carius. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
Coach, before we get into this season's team, let's talk about a little bit preseason. You guys had come off 37 straight CCIW championships, 3 state regional championships. Does this team feel pressure to sort of live up some expectations?
No, that's a very good question, and something I learned a long time ago and try to implement each and every year, and that is to not really think about what happened the previous year. I give them on the very first day of practice a blank sheet of paper with the title, hey, this is 2011 men's cross country team, and the page is blank. And to remind them that they have accomplished nothing, and what happened in the past, if it benefits them from lessons learned, from maturity in terms of training, then that's great. But in terms of accomplishments, it's a brand new year, and we have to start from point zero to establish what's going to be on that sheet.
What is the biggest factor in this team's consistency over the years?
I think that it's been, our ability to, have our upperclassmen, have enough upperclassmen that really understand the values and the culture that really is critically important to have a successful program, a successful team, and their ability to pass that on to the freshmen that are coming in, and have enough freshmen each year that get it, that understand it, that adopt those values, and they carry on that kind of tradition. What your fear is that you have a couple of years where you lose a couple of good classes and you don't have good classes coming up, and those lessons are not being taught, and there's a gap, and that's where you run into trouble. But we've had great consistency because we're always training for the now, but we're also always training for the future with our younger athletes.
Is that something you look for when you're recruiting a young runner, somebody that can come in and fit into your system?
Absolutely. You look for, culture first. You're looking for, someone that has the values that are going to fit into our lifestyle, our culture, our environment, and and it's not necessarily based on talent. And distance runners are made if they come with the right attitude, and so we're looking for the right attitude that fits into our program.
How do you still find that passion to coach after 45 years?
Well, you're asking a lot of great questions. I really, really, really feel that we're talking about these values, and you can get talk for many, many hours about these values. But I think you do. I know you build an athlete from the inside out. And those values, commitment, discipline, work ethic, dealing with disappointment, dealing with success, being a team player, and you can go on and on and on. The values that you learn, I think, are more important today. They've always been important, but I think they're not taught in as many places today as they were years and years ago. These are good old-fashioned values. And so, in answer to your question, I really feel more energized and more excited about what I'm doing now because I think that it's more relevant in terms of having a positive impact on young people's lives in teaching those values.
So let's get into this year's team. You guys have been running very well. You haven't finished slower than third place in a meet all season. What's the focus when you guys are heading into these races?
Really, everything that we do, every practice that we do, every meet that we go to is geared on taking steps towards the national championship on November 19th. I thought about this the other day in the office. I was talking to somebody, and it's kind of a strange feeling, but I have never, ever really thought of us not attending the national championship. It's like when the season starts, we're getting ready for November 19th, and that's a tremendous luxury. And it would be a real shock to me if we did not advance sometime. So we have the luxury of saying that everything we do is preparing for that moment, and it is not an afterthought after the regionals saying, wow, we qualified for nationals, now let's get ready for nationals. We've been preparing for nationals from the very, very first day, and every step that we take along the way is a step towards that date, and we really tell ourselves that we're looking to turn every stone over that we can to get to that point. And we tell our athletes, and I sincerely believe this, that when we get to that point where whether we win or not, it's going to be another matter. You cannot control that necessarily, but I do believe we will be the very best prepared team for that moment in the United States. And so we want them to have that kind of confidence, and the confidence that we call knowing.
And it seems you guys really do prepare as a team. Almost every race that I've seen, you guys like to run in packs. The Cardinals really seem to use each other to motivate while on the course.
No question about the fact that you're far better together than you can ever be alone. And I'd like to see more science reinforcing it, but certainly there is a synergistic effect. When you have a group of young men that share a common goal selflessly and work towards it together, you're going to get a far better individual performances, and the total team outcome is going to be its very, very best.
This team hasn't named a captain yet. Why is that?
Oh boy, I used to years and years ago get locked into different things that I did and think, okay, this is what we do each and every year. And I've come to the conclusion that great teams are flexible, adaptable, and creative, and that you really want to get the makeup of the team, and there are many, many variables that indicate what the team is made of, and determine is, in the area of captain, is it beneficial to name one person, or in this case, because in this particular year we've got so many really able-minded, very strong-minded, very contributing minds that are working together towards this common goal. Is it better to name one person, or say, hey, we have a council of leaders that are working together? And so in a way, we've got, I'd say right now, 13 people that I would consider to be a part of that council, and they have all taken a sense of ownership in this mission to be ready for November 19th. And it really is a fantastic thing to see when you feel and see them synergistically work together to work for that common goal. It really works. So in this particular year, it's just far better to not name one person, but to say we've got 13 people that have the same goal, working together towards getting ready for November 19th.
Well, it seems to have paid off. You guys have had some first place finishes. Matt Perez coming through down at ISU. Dan Curley had a second place finish there as well, and Tim Hurd finished first in a race. So while you guys stress team, you still have those individual guys that can sort of come out and win a race.
I think that that's one of the signs of a great team, is that you don't know who the number one man's going to be. And I don't want to name a number one man any more than we'd name a captain. I want 7 guys to go to the line, 7 guys running as 5. I want our 6th and 7th men, whoever they might end up being, through the race, to realize they're critically important to the final team outcome, and to be running, to try to get into our top 5. And so if the order changes, that is a great sign of a great team, and what you really don't want is the results to change. So if we end up doing really, really well as a team, and the order changes from week to week, that's success.
Well, Coach, we wish you luck in the upcoming CCIW championships, and we'll definitely be looking for you guys at Nationals as well.
Thank you very much.
Stick around, because after the break, I'll be joined by a coach of another North Central men's team that's turning heads in the conference. Keep it right here.
This financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail, and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once on my dog.